Next one, put the equation y equals x squared minus 2x into the form, that vertex form, that desirable vertex form, okay? So, you know, it's good. It's a nice form, right? Because if you have this form, then you know what the vertex is because it's HK. Well, we want to be able to put it in that form. Well, this is that same old process of completing the square. Okay, so you might remember about completing the square. When we just had one variable, we didn't have x and y, we just had x completing the square. And we would solve for x, and it was a way to solve quadratic equations, equations with x squared in them. And basically it came down to if you are able to write your expression or somehow isolate x squared plus bx, then if you can justify adding the square of b over 2 to that, then you're able to say, well, now we have a completed square. And that completed square is the square of x plus b over 2. That's just happens to be the way that that left-hand side factors. And so that's what we're going to do here. Okay. So we're going to, we recognize that this thing that we have to create is this thing. Okay. And so we have an x squared plus bx, right? We have an x squared plus bx, where the b, what is the b?
Two.
Well, the b is actually -2. The b is actually -2, right?
Yes, sir. My apologies. -2.
It's okay, Pastor. So b equals -2. And according to this rule, we have to add the square of b over 2 to what's in the box, to this x squared minus 2x, and then we will have a completed square. We have to justify it somehow. Okay. So y equals x squared minus 2x. And we're going to add the square of b over 2 to that. And we're going to justify it by subtracting back out that same number, whatever it is. So that is actually okay. When we were solving quadratic equations in one variable, x, we had to do the same thing to both sides, and that's what justified adding the square of b over 2. Now, we're putting it and we're taking it. Put it and take it. It's an old move in math, the put and the take. So the square of b over 2 is the square of negative 2 over 2, which is the square of negative 1, which is 1. Okay. Put 1 and take 1. Now, we know how this thing factors. It factors in this way here. The square of x plus b over 2. Okay, the square of x minus 1. And that's how this factors right here. We already know that. It's always going to factor in this way. Okay. And so what I try to, get people into the rhythm of seeing is that this number is always half of this number. It always works like that. This number is half of this number. The negative 1 is half of negative 2. But now what we have done is we have taken what they gave us and we've written it in the desired form. So, right, that is the form y equals the square of x minus h plus k, right, Amy? And so that actually is the answer. Does that make sense, Amy?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.